ordinance stuff?
We actually do have one. I've printed out for Joanna.
Just so I can read it through, just so
Of course.
okay.
That was the bylaws?
Yeah. It's just really that.
I don't think the owner is logged in, so.
The thing was making vaping.
Oh, it was?
Before, like about 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
So, I don't know if that was.
She may have been disenamored with not being let in. I don't know if you could text her or anything.
You think you can do it too?
Anyway,
I'm the only human without a cell phone, so I can't.
Okay.
text anybody.
oh, no worries. Hey, Ben.
You don't have the Cliff Notes version, huh? How you doing?
Right before he starts the meeting officially, Ben, I'd like you to meet Joanna. Joanna's the newest member of our team, and she'll be phasing into this role. She'll be at your service. She's terrific.
There we go. We're gonna miss you.
Well, I'll still be looming,
Okay.
and of course, and always happy to chat.
All right. Going. Is there nobody on the Zoom?
Not yet.
No.
We are expecting one.
It's not an exciting project.
I guess not.
It's not a self-help. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Welcome to KMAC. We'll do a quick introduction.
I'm Ben Barry.
Dave Peterson.
Chris Ryden.
Adam Novicus.
There we go. Okay. First order of business, which we just did, was call to order. Next order of business is to review the meeting notes from September 24th.
I have a motion to approve. A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's the three of mine. I wouldn't hear. Okay. Moving on, we will move to citizens' comments. That's anything that somebody would like to discuss that's not on today's agenda. Go once, go twice. Okay, no citizens' comments. Next, we'll move on to our first and only agenda item, which is, do I have the right one in front of me? I do. There we go. CBDP 25-03032, 210 Amherst Avenue. A request to approval development plan Kensington design review for residential addition yielding gross floor area of 3877 square feet, where 2,500 square feet is the gross floor area threshold for public hearing. That's part of it here. The project is also a variance for setback, 5 foot 10-inch setback, where 15-foot minimum is required for rear portion of the addition. Okay, and real quick, I'll kind of review what the Kensington ordinance covers just in general. The purpose of this chapter is to provide specific regulation to fairly and efficiently implement the Contra Costa County general plan policies for Kensington area, so future development recognizes the rights of property owners to improve the value and enjoyment of their property while minimizing impact on surrounding neighbors and not substantially impairing the value and enjoyment of the neighbor's property, maintains the community property values, and promotes the general welfare, public health, and safety. And it is to further the purpose of this chapter about the community's values, preservation of views, light, solar access, privacy, parking, residential noise levels, that's new, and compatibility with neighborhood in regard to bulk and scale. Features of development that could influence these values include but are not limited to siting, size, bulk, building envelope, height, setbacks, relative scale, off-street parking spaces, window placement, artificial lighting, and the location of mechanical devices such as motors, fans, and fans. The only one I'm missing is you can help me with this one probably, the requirements for a variance. Anyone remember those exactly?
I can't remember off
Do I have to Google it? Do you have them?
I don't. It's a certain amount of square footage over the.
Yeah, well, that's
what triggers the variance.
That's what triggers the variance. So we have a floor area ratio in Kensington. It's not a hard line. It's just what triggers the variance to look at as acceptable. All right. Let's see if Google can help us here. Okay, Google. What are the 3 findings for a variance? All right. We'll see if she's any good. All right. How to win, and maybe get it to know. How do you find variances? No, that's not really our guide to variances. It's really simple. variance,
I think
that
we,
any variance authorized will
Yep.
not constitute the grant of special privilege inconsistent with the limitations on properties in the vicinity and the respective land use district in which the subject property is located, and, that's first. Second, that because of special circumstances applicable to the subject property because of its size, shape, and topography, location, or surroundings, the strict application of the respective zoning regulations is found to deprive the subject property to the rights enjoyed by other properties in the vicinity and within the identical land use district. Lastly, that any variance authorized substantially meet the intent and purpose of the respective land use district in which the subject property is located. Failure to find such a result is denied. It will be the result in denial. Okay, we good?
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll move forward and maybe let the, I don't know if we have the applicant on, but I think you're representing?
I am, yeah.
Okay, good deal. All right, then, do you wanna walk us through, maybe just give us a brief overview of what and why, and then why the requirement, why you're asking for the variance?
Yeah, my name is Greg Van Mecklen. I'm the architect for the project. The homeowner, I think, was going to zoom in, and I'm not sure if something happened that
No problem.
didn't make that work. The original project started, the original house is a partial two-story. It's a one-story main level, and because the site slopes to the west, which is pretty common, there was a partial lower level. The proposed project, the original project, was established because, actually it started, I think, because they have this horrible staircase that goes from the upper level, the main level, to the downstairs level. It's kind of a scary staircase, and they wanted to fix that, but then they decided that they wanted to do an accessory dwelling unit on the lower level. And so most of the addition to the project is for the accessory dwelling unit. I have to first also make a correction, and this was my fault, not the planner, but the actual area of the proposed project is not 3877, it's 3131 square feet total. I had mistakenly added crawl space area into the gross area because
Okay, yeah.
there's a tall crawl space on that lower level.
Yep.
And that shouldn't be counted in the gross area.
Perfect, okay.
So the addition, physical addition, I don't know the number off the top of my head, it's about 400 square feet for the accessory dwelling unit on the lower level. We're also doing a 103 or 107 square foot addition on the main level into a courtyard for an expanded kitchen. Because again, houses of this generation don't have the kinds of kitchens that people want nowadays. And then we're also converting some of the crawl space, which is buried into the side of the hill. We're converting that from crawl space into habitable space to make room for a staircase. Now the 5-foot 10-inch setback is only for the ADU. ADUs are allowed to have smaller setbacks than typical houses by the state legislation. It's a little bit fuzzy, as my reading of the code, when it's an addition as opposed to an independent ADU. If it were an independent ADU, we would be very clearly allowed to go within 4 feet 0 inches of both the side and rear yard setbacks. We're 5 feet 10 inches from the rear yard setback and 5 feet from the side yard setback with the ADU that we're doing. And actually the 5 feet side yard is the existing house, not the addition. The addition is 16 feet, almost 17 feet, I think it's 16 feet 10 inches from the property line for the addition to the side yard. But again, 5 feet 10 inches. Now, once we did this ADU addition, the owner said, it'd be really nice to have a deck up there. And so that technically would be part of a variance providing a deck for, and it would not be a deck for the ADU, it would be a deck for the main house within that 15-foot rear setback. But again, it's because of we're building the roof, why not make it a usable roof for the main house?
Have the homeowner spoken to their neighbors?
Yes, we've spoken to, if you imagine the homeowner being Alice in the Brady Bunch introduction, the center square, we've spoken to the neighbors to the north, to the west, and to the south, and also across the street to the east. And I have a letter that should be in your packet, a compilation of emails that we've received from those, yep, there it is.
last page.
All of those neighbors, there's arrows showing where their house is relative to the red dot of this project, all saying that they're fine with this project.
How about these two people that you've spoken to?
No,
That's
we've
not
spoken
something
to
I'll
this one, we didn't speak with this one. But the addition, the property lines look a little bit off on this, legend, because I know the house is not that, the existing house is not that close to the property line. But that often happens when people superimpose property lines on an aerial map.
Which neighbor did you not speak to?
We've spoken to, I'll show you the ones that we have spoken
Now,
to.
show me the one you have not
That
spoken
one.
to.
This one, yeah, this is the property. We've spoken to this one, this one, this one, and this one. I don't know if they've actually spoken to that neighbor or not. We don't have an email or a letter from that neighbor. But they're sort of at a diagonal, so they're less affected by the work that we're doing, than the neighbor at, what number was that?
207 is the one that you talked to.
Right, okay.
So probably 209 is the one you didn't.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
211, oh yeah, 209 is the one they didn't speak to, 207 is the one.
Right, 209 Arlington.
It's so much easier to understand these plans when you explain it a little bit before I read them. Alright. Got it. Got it.
Questions?
No.
Questions? You still-
So what was the gross floor area before this project?
The existing gross floor area. Sorry,
I'm assuming it's still above 2,500.
and it was 2733,
Okay, so you're already over the,
right,
You're only about 400 more.
Yeah, I'm getting.
right, just under 400 square feet.
That's the thing. I have no questions.
I'm still waiting on you.
No questions.
No questions, all right. So let me ask a question. I think that's good. I think we're good. So we'll close it, we'll open for the public comment. Would anybody like to speak on the project?
we have on the Zoom?
Close public comment. All right, now we'll talk amongst ourselves. So my first question would be is just, does it meet the requirements, right? Because that's the bigger piece on the variance, right? And it's not, does it constitute a special privilege that other properties don't have? And the only thing I would say is that, again, I see in the adjacent property behind it that they have built a structure that seems to be in the, I don't know if it's 5 feet or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
The other thing I can't speak to is he said, ADUs can be within 4 feet, they're actually backing up. Now, again, it's a fuzzy area whether it does or doesn't, whether it's part of an existing expansion or whether it's a new building, right? I mean, theoretically, he can build a separate building there if he wants to. Not much. I don't know that we are or aren't granting anything special, that probably doesn't exist somewhere else in Kensington. And again, from my look, in that one neighbor's backyard, it looks like there's already something built that's, right along the fence line. And again, more than a shed. We'll go with that. So, next one is there anything unique, because of special circumstances? I don't know that any special circumstances exist other than the house is already there, right? And so it's where the property is built on the property line.
Yeah.
So I would say that's probably the special circumstances, that it's already there and that's where the most logical addition to the home is.
That's the most common situation we're facing as we came out.
Yeah. And I mean, the only other way we could address that is tell people we'll just dig down.
Yeah.
You can dig back, dig deeper, dig further.
Yeah.
And that any variance are not substantial, or substantially meet the intent of the land use district, and the intention is for housing. So yeah, I would say yes, right? So I would say, I think we can meet it. The only question is, right, is it within the setback that other ones have? I don't think we can exactly say or not, but I would say it meets the requirements, the 3 requirements that legally are required for a so I'm good with that. Other than that, I hear no public comment. I think 4 of the 5 neighbors have said okay. And I think the other thing is ADUs are kind of funny. I don't know if we have the ability to block it anyway. We damn well want to, but it doesn't seem to be impacting anybody's views,
Yeah.
privacy, or anything else that I can tell.
You know, given the engagement that's already
No,
happening.
the only thing that could impact privacy is the deck on the back.
Yeah.
These two.
Yeah, and I think in Kensington, I'm joking, right, we're Great Poupon neighborhood, everybody has a deck and everybody looks at everybody's yard. Unfortunately or fortunately, whichever way you look at it. Any other feedback?
Would the neighbor behind them be able to build a 2-story building 5 feet from the property line?
Interesting, that's where view would come into play. Right, that's what I would say, if it was
But
an
by
ADU,
rights, they would have to.
if it was an ADU,
If
it were an ADU. Yeah.
So we faced that recently on a different project down on Calusa,
Right,
right?
on Calusa.
And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
I think the short answer is yes,
This is-
but it's still going further. I thought they got into an agreement.
Oh, I don't know.
I think they came to an agreement.
I think they pulled it back
They pulled
to
it
about
back,
20
and they
feet.
took the roof deck off and stuff like that. So, in general, I think they found compromise that seemed that they could
Yeah.
go through. But anyway, like, my main point is that, like, the short answer is like, you probably can't block a project outright,
Yeah,
but you can demand accommodations
Yeah.
that meet the needs of the neighborhood.
I think that would be the challenge, yeah, and I think the only claim you'd have would potentially, if it was taking somebody's view above, but even that, if it's an ADU, I think it's good. You could argue it'd be single story or something.
Well, the intent of my question was to indicate that if all the neighbors decided to build 5 feet from the rear property lines,
Theoretically,
they would have a
they could.
perfect right to,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the reason for our existence would be no more.
yeah, true. Yeah. What do you recommend?
I'm gonna stay silent.
All right. Yeah, no, I definitely think the challenge is there's no indication of whether there is or isn't, whether that exists anywhere else. I don't know that it does or doesn't. Anybody wanna make a recommendation?
I'll make a recommendation. I recommend that we approve project CDP 25_03032 210 Amherst Avenue.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All abstaining? There you go. Fair enough. Good thing we had 4 of us. Yeah, and I get it.
Like
So,
easier.
KMAC will recommend approval of, is that the right one? Just make sure I got it. At least you're reading that from September. CDDP 25_03032 210 Amherst, with 3 in favor and 1 nay.
Abstain.
Huh? Oh, you abstained, okay, okay, one abstention, sorry. We'll close that, and you'll move forward to the county for the next stop on the bus.
Thank you very much.
You bet, and I don't think we have anything else, so we'll call adjournment at 7:22. Motion to adjourn, sorry.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Sorry, didn't mean to extend.